For example, if you want to remember historical data, how to remember historical data using these phonetics. For example, the First World War happened between 1914 to 1918. So we know very well that it has happened during the 19th century. So we need not bother with the 19 in both, and we need to remember both 14 and 18. The 14 comes to what happens. 14 is D, 1 is D, 4 is R. So you can form a word door, and 1 8 is 1 is D and 8 is F. So door, and next one is deaf. So you can form a story during the World War. The army bombed the doors, and all the people become deaf. So you will never forget 1914 to 1918. You will never forget if you form a story like this. And during Second World War, 1939 to 1945. You forget the 19 in both the cases, and you need to remember 39 and 45. So 3 in phonetics is the M, and P in phonetics is 9. So MP, you can say member of parliament, and 4 is R, and 5 is L. For example, you can combine this and you make it as a rail. During the Second World War, all the MPs traveled by rail. That you can form a story. Next one comes Indo-China War. It happened in 1962. You can easily remember the Indo-China War because CH means 6, Na means 2. So in the China itself, we have the year 62. So like this, you can remember the important years. The Indo Pak War 1971. So you just forget the 19 and 71. 7 is K and 1 is T. So you can form a simple word that kite, and during the Indo Pak War, they use the kite to fly. Just like that, you can form a funny story and you can easily remember. For example, Simon Commission in India during the British period. It happened in 1928. So here you forget the 19 and you have the 2 and 8. 2 for 2 we have a N, and for 8 we have F. So you can form a word using these consonants for knife. So Gandhiji said, Simon, go back with a knife. They said, Simon Commission, Simon, go back with a knife. So you will never forget 1928. Next comes Jallianwala Bagh. Jallianwala Bagh happened in 1919. You forget the 19. And you have 1 9. For 1 9, you can convert into D and P. So you can form a sentence deep. So during the Jallianwala Bagh, you can form this story like this. The British people shot the people and all the people fell into the well, deep well. So 1919, you cannot forget. And Quit India movement. In 1942, Quit India movement happened. And you can forget the 19 and you can just remember the 42. And 42, if you convert, it becomes R and UN. So Quit India movement, because of the Quit India movement, British people ran away from the India. So just like that, you can form a simple story. And here I'll be telling about the French Revolution using the simple story like jeep, bun, belly, beef, sari, dull, net. Only these 7 words are needed to remember the French history. For example, you can remember the important dates using this method, and it not necessarily you can use the same thing. You can use any dates and you can form a simple funny story. For example, 1969 Napoleon's birth, and 1769 Napoleon's birth, 1792 French Revolution, and 1795 invasion of France, 1798 European War, 1804 Coronation, and 1815 Waterloo, and 1821 death of Napoleon. How to remember 1769? Napoleon was born, and you forget the 17. And 6 is J, and 9 is P. So you form a word called jeep. Napoleon born in a jeep. You remember Napoleon's birth took place in a jeep. Next comes French Revolution 1792. You forget the 17. And you have 9 and 2. 9 means in the phonetics B, and N means 2. So you can form a simple word called bun. That is, during the 1792 French Revolution, people ate bun. That is the story. That's the way that you need to remember. Next comes the invasion of France of 1795. So, for example, you forget this 17 and you have this belly. B 9 you have the B, and for 5 you have L. So you can form as a B and L. You can use a belly. So you can form a story like they, because of they eat lot of bun, they got big belly. Like that you can show. For example, 1798 European War. So 17 you forget, you have the 9 8. 9 means B and 8 means F. So you can form the word beef. So during the European war, all the people ate beef. Just like that you can form simple sentence. And 1804 coronation of the Napoleon Bonaparte has happened. And for that you can 0 means sa, 4 means R. So you can form a sari during the coronation. Napoleon won. Sorry, that you can form a story. Next comes Waterloo, 1815, the Waterloo. So because of the lot of water, the loo, they become dull. So you forget the 18 and you have 1, 5. The 1 means D and 5 means L. So you can form a simple word like dull. Because of the loo, watery loo, they become dull. You can form a funny story like this, and you can forget. You will never remember. For example, you will never forget. For example, 1821, the death of Napoleon Bonaparte. So what happens? 18 you forget. We have 21. We have N is 2 and 1 is T. So you can form a simple word that a net, N-E-T, net. So Napoleon Bonaparte died in net. So that means you will never forget his death occurred during the 1821, just like this. So for this, what you need to remember: jeep, bun, belly, beef, sari, dull, net. That means jeep a birth took place in 1769 and the French Revolution in 1792 and invasion of France in 1795 and Europe war in 1798, beef and coronation and 1804 the one sorry and Waterloo in 1815 and all the people become dull and death happened in 1821. Like this, you can convert any historical data, even the important constants. You can, for important scientific data, also you can convert like this. For example, memorizing constants, you have a lot of constants as a student you need to remember. So you can form a funny story using this phonetic method. For example, the height of the Mount Everest is 8848 meters. So 88 in the phonetic is FF. So you can FF, you can convert it to FIFA. The FIFA is the World Cup, and 48 is R and F. So you can have roof. You can form a new word called roof. So the FIFA World Cup happened in the roof of the Mount Everest. FIFA World Cup happened on the roof of the Mount Everest. So you will never forget 1848. Is it necessary to remember all the time the FIFA World Cup roof? No. Once it is entered into your permanent memory, long-term memory, you need not bother about all these things. Mind will take care of all these conversion, everything, and you will directly get the answers. Then during the conclusion part, I will like to reiterate that mind can understand pictures and sounds, and memory is unlimited. You can convert numbers into pictures and visualize, and you can associate with images. Once it is pushed into long-term memory, you will never forget. That is the thing that I want to say. And first, I would like to thank everyone for participating in this event. And I would like to thank host Mr. Chandrasalam from Malaysia. And if you have any doubts, it isn't just an introduction to the memory, and we have a lot more things to learn. And anyone is want any have any questions, they can ask some questions.